Hi everybody, I'm Amy Stewart. I'm a writer and an artist, and I'm answering your questions about either writing or art. So feel free to post them in the comments and subscribe so you'll be notified of when I post answers to the questions that are coming in. But here's a good question. Somebody said, would you ever explain to someone, like to your beta readers, why you're no longer sending them work? Or is it fine to just stop? And I think the reason for this question is that in a previous video I talked about who do you let read your work? And so I talked about beta readers a little bit and when they're helpful and when they're maybe not so helpful, and it's time for you to narrow down the group of people who you're sharing your work with. So I think that's maybe what this is in response to. But for those of you who don't know, beta readers is where you sort of get a little focus group of readers together who are going to read your manuscript when it's fairly well polished and pretty much ready to go out. And it's that kind of last bit of feedback that you get. So would you explain to your beta readers why you're no longer sending manuscripts to them? I think that's a good thing to do and a fine thing to do. You know, your beta readers are your biggest supporters and they're your biggest fans, and they're interested in what's going on with you. And they're probably also interested in the creative process a little bit. So if you've reached a point where you want to block out feedback and block out other voices so that you can really focus on your vision, that's a positive step, and there's every reason to just let people know, like, thank you for everything you've done, and I've gotten really good ideas, and I'm in a stage now where I'm just going to kind of hunker down and not show anything to anyone and really keep it close and work on it, and that's what feels right at the moment. Like, I think that's an interesting thing for people to hear about. Also, if it's the case that maybe you're working with a publisher, you have an editor, and the editor might well say, like, I think it's time for us to narrow this down and have it be just you and me in the conversation, because there's too many other people in the conversation, only I'm not talking to them, only you are, and so it's kind of hard to address all those other voices. This really needs to be you and me working on this. That's also interesting, and there's no reason not to let people in on the fact that that's the stage you're in right now, because you'll move in and out of that stage, of course, and you might come back to your beta readers later. So I would say, sure, let them know and thank them once again, and keep in touch with them and let them know where you are with the process. I think that's a great thing to do. So I hope that helps. Post your questions, hit subscribe, come find me online. I teach classes, I have a newsletter. I would love to stay in touch. Take care.